girl Kayla on Days of Our Lives to the gold-digging Catherine on General Hospital. Our next guest has always been a fan favorite, and now the viewers of As the World Turns get to see her in action as Sierra Montgomery.
My mother thinks I'm a fool for trusting you.
Well, she always has. But you have a forgiving heart.
Well, I am not going to be so forgiving if you blow this Greg. If she gets in any kind of trouble, if she experiments with drugs, if she tries an ounce of alcohol, if she becomes a behavior problem, or if her grades drop, I swear to you, I will pull her out of here so fast, and you will be out of both of our lives for good.
Please welcome Mary Beth Evans.
Saw Ken back there, and Ken and I did my very first talk show ever with Ken when I was in my very early 20s. He took me on Merv Griffin. And I wore a dress that I made because I thought if we ran out of things to talk about, I'd talk about how I made this dress. And it all worked out okay.
Because you and Ken were love interests on Rituals, correct?
That's right.
See?
In fact, I had one of those classic characters. I had a brain tumor, I was a virgin, a surrogate mother, roller skating, ice cream cone, you know, whatever they could add on there.
Oh, wow. Funny.
It was very fun.
So you've played a bunch of different characters. You went from Days to GH, and now you're on As the World Turns, playing the leader, Sierra Montgomery, the leader of, you have your own country.
That's a great way to live in
That's a
California
nice gig.
and do a show in New York. Yeah,
and get your own country in South America at the same time.
It's great conversation when I'm out with my friends. It's like, you run a country, really?
Oh, yeah.
So
in my
it's
spare
fun.
time.
Yeah, it's fun.
Now, how did that come about? Normally, if you're doing a soap, you do it where you live, and you live here and you're doing it in New York.
You know, they called me up and just asked me if I wanted to do it. And I was going to be in New York anyway. I really didn't think, one, that it would go on, and two, what it really meant to stay there for extended periods. But I was going to be in New York for Thanksgiving that year, and I said, sure, I'll send my husband home and the kids home, and I'll stay. This will be great. I'll be in a hotel and shop and whatever. And so it was great fun.
Of course, I would have done the same thing.
It was great fun, of course. And so now it's been maybe, I don't know how many times I've gone back, 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that.
And do you take the kids or do you leave them home?
I did take them last summer because I was there for 3 weeks, and it was a bummer. You guys, I have a teenager who, on Madison Avenue, I had him in one of those, like, under his shirt locks, like this. And he's big. He's like 6'1" now, if you guys can believe that. All of you who followed along.
How old is he?
He'll be 15 in October.
Wow.
In fact, it's funny because I don't know if any of you guys remember when Patch and Kayla very first got together on Days.
I think so.
I was very pregnant when we had our very first kiss. You know, they used to take me down the bed, this whole thing. He would go down and then kind of to the side. And so that pregnancy is this kid who is turning 15.
You have 3 children, correct?
3, right.
2 boys
but
and a girl?
he's really the...
And he's
the
a
tough one.
lifeguard.
Yeah,
but yet you have a babysitter for him at home.
When I was away this time, the other kids were at camp, and he has his lifeguard job, and he's saving kids and teaching kids to swim. But before he went to the job in the morning, I would have a babysitter come and stay at the house with him because I didn't trust him to not, you know, I don't even want to say all the things that teenagers boys do, but, you know. A lot of things with, like, lighters and, you know, sounds and, you know. So, anyway.
And you met your husband when you were 19?
19,
That's something.
Yeah, we're still together.
Wow.
You were the self-proclaimed beach girl at the time. He was from Chicago.
Right.
How did that work out?
I think we both dreamed of people like each other when we were kids. You know, he lived in New Jersey, and there were all those Beach Boy songs, and I lived out here, and I didn't want a surfer boyfriend, so I met him, and it was love at first sight, and I dropped everything and moved to Chicago where he lived, and that was a very long time.
Was it in the winter time?
It was, January. It was 80 below wind chill factor.
It's so cold there.
It's a little
tough.
tough
Crazy.
being a surfer girl in Chicago in January.
And he lived in this kind of junky apartment in, you know, like a back of a brownstone, looked at a brick wall. And so I would just sit with a blanket and open the oven and sit in front of the oven. And it's a lot,
Those were the days.
Wasn't it?
So 19 years you guys have been together. Now, every year you guys do Christmas cards, is that right? And
with my kids?
With your kids?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, you do that when you have kids.
Yes,
you do Christmas
It's
cards?
a big deal, isn't it?
It's a huge deal.
Trying to get everybody looking right. And,
yes.
And with 3 kids, it's really hard. And my husband actually used to take the picture. And then one year, that crazy older son was just being a nuisance and all over the place, and he wouldn't smile. And he was, and my husband finally was like, "That's it! You're out of the picture!" And he's like, you can't kick me out of this Christmas picture, Dad. This is our family picture. And so after that, I got a photographer, and now we, go somewhere to the beach, or we go somewhere and shoot these pictures.
It's a big deal. It really is.
It is hard to get a lot of people looking good at the same time.
Absolutely. Nobody wants to do it. So
Right.
I think I love when I get them because I know what goes into
I know
it.
I know it.
I cherish
Yours
them.
are so cute, your kids.
Oh, thank you. We met at a Mexican restaurant
Recently, yeah.
in Pasadena, and my kids were throwing every piece of food on the floor, and
They were very
and they were
cute.
probably
No.
hitting you also.
No, they were very, very cute.
It's fine. Her
Very
son was
cute.
busy lighting them on fire.
That's right.
Don't go away. When we come back, we got a little surprise from Mary Beth Evans.
Coming up, a surprise guest from Mary Beth's past.